least 2.5 inches
It was
shorter.
4. It was 3 inches too short to start
Yeah, it was
with.
at least 2.5. It was kind of dark in the church. And I had come to that event late. I had come to an event before with you guys where we went to the mall. But I had come to this event late, and I brought my friend Desiree with me. And got there, and they were just sitting, the lady in the chair, and Dave called me up to grow her leg out. And I was like, yep, I have faith for that. And, and so I actually handed somebody my phone because I've been having trouble getting a testimony of me growing legs out. And somebody was filming it, and it didn't come out.
Oh
Make a note that we'll pull that up later.
And
I got that video.
but I commanded her legs to become the same length, and the one leg outgrew the other leg by about an inch. And then Dave was kind of making fun of me. He's like, well, what are you doing there? I was like, no, Jesus is up to something. I don't know what. You know, I'm not really sure. And she goes, I have a razor in that shoe. It raises my foot up to compensate for how uneven my legs are. So we took her shoes off, and her legs were the same length.
Amen.
And we stood her up, and we commanded healing and more freedom in her hips and in her back. And then the pastor prayed over her foot that had a lot of metal in it, and it was becoming
fused.
loose. It was fused
It was fused.
with
It wouldn't
all
move
this
at all.
metal and plates, and it was starting to move, and she was walking more and more free as she went around the church. And by the next morning, she was 50% better when she left, and we all said we're going to stand in prayer that you were going to be
Amen.
healed overnight, and she was healed overnight. She went to church the next day and gave her testimony in front of everybody. She was completely healed of all the symptoms of that spina bifida overnight.
God.
And it was great that her healing finished while she was sleeping, because then she didn't go running back to people, she went running to God.
Amen.
She even paid $40 to go back to her doctor to show her that God healed her. And she was willing to pay that. Rose was here last night giving us the rest of the story.
Yeah. Praise God.
That was amazing. And the time before, when we all went to the mall, when we were training the first time here, my favorite portion of that trip was the 10-year-old boy that prayed for his grandma's foot in the cast, and all the pain left.
Oh yeah, that was neat.
So I asked to pray if we could pray for her foot, and her 10-year-old grandson was willing to step up and do the commanding prayer. And the grandma said the pain is gone, and he was so excited that he had the ability to pray effectively for his grandmother.
Amen.
And you grew my leg out too.
Praise God. Yeah, that's nice.
Amen. Leg